leaves it for Yao. He dunks over Ratliff.
Now Francis will get it. Let's throw it back out to Yao Ming. He has not made a three until now.
But Yao around the league in terms of what other players say about him, we all think he's a monster.
That was a giant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
literally.
You be with guys 6'10", 6'7" foot, you take them for granted. Then when Yao walk in the room 7'6", you're like, oh, that's tall.
At first, when I didn't hear of him before he came into the NBA.
Yao Ming was supposed to revolutionize basketball forever. The 7 feet 6 inches giant from China didn't just have the size. He had something even rarer, basketball IQ on par with Kobe Bryant. But a combination of injuries, doubt, and outright disrespect robbed us of what could have been the most dominant career in NBA history.
Bad things happen to you. Hold it. Oh, blocked by Yao. We've had some great plays the game tonight. On the defensive end, what a block.
They called him the Chinese Kobe for a reason. But while Kobe got respect from day one, Yao faced racial mockery from superstars, doubt from analysts, and a body that couldn't keep up with his brilliant mind. Robert Horry, who won championships with Kobe, put Yao Ming's basketball IQ in the same category as the Black Mambas. Think about that for a second. A 7-time NBA champion comparing a center's basketball intelligence to one of the smartest players ever. Yao wasn't just tall, he was brilliant. The man could read defenses like a book, anticipate plays 3 moves ahead, and adjust his game based on situations most players couldn't even recognize. His court vision from the center position was unprecedented.
Blocked, and Alston back the other way, lost control of the ball momentarily. Yao Ming!
Reports suggested Yao's actual IQ was around 132, which would put him in the genius category. But it wasn't just book smarts, it was basketball genius. Every possession was calculated, every movement had purpose, every decision was precise.
So you know you got to pay attention to him.
Damon has that steal stolen. Then Yao a little behind the back.
Yao Ming going behind his back, and Sharif knows he's going to be on, I'll tell you, he's 7'6" and can do that.
In China, they didn't call him Yao Ming, they called him the Chinese Kobe. This wasn't just about skill level, it was about basketball IQ, work ethic, and that relentless pursuit of perfection that defined both players. Like Kobe, Yao studied film obsessively. Like Kobe, he had that perfectionist mentality. Like Kobe, he understood the game on a level that most players never reach. The comparison wasn't just flattering, it was accurate. Both players had that rare ability to see the game in slow motion while everyone else was scrambling. Both could anticipate what was going to happen before it happened. The only difference? One had a body built to last, the other didn't. Before Yao even stepped foot on an NBA court, Shaquille O'Neal decided to launch a racist attack that should have ended his career. In December 2002, Shaq put on a Chinese accent and said, "Tell Yao Ming, ching chong yang, wa ah so," accompanied by kung fu-like gestures.
Wang Zhu, whatever your name is, you want some of Shaq food? Come get it. I'll be waiting for you.
This wasn't just ignorance, this was calculated racism from someone who should have known better. What made it even more disturbing was that Shaq had received the NAACP Young Leaders Award only days before his comment was aired to thousands of NBA fans. The hypocrisy was staggering. Someone who had benefited from fighting racial stereotypes was perpetuating them against another minority athlete. Shaq's non-apology was equally pathetic. "If I offended anybody, I apologize." To say I'm a racist against Asians is crazy. I'm an idiot prankster.
Oh, man, you don't know the man's name?
Oh, man.
Man, come on, man. Man, 7'5", man.
Oh, okay, and? Okay, he's 7'5".
I ain't that Shaq. The man really did say, let me break that thing down for you. Say he's a mountain in my way.
Okay.
I will try to conquer it by all means necessary. Got a little bit of that,
and I'll be ready.
A little bit of that Malcolm X in him, by all means necessary.
The racism from Shaq was just the beginning. The basketball establishment lined up to doubt Yao before he even played a game. Bill Simmons, Dick Vitale, and Charles Barkley led the charge of skepticism. These so-called experts questioned everything: his speed, his strength, his ability to adapt to the American game. What they didn't question was his intelligence, because they were too busy focusing on stereotypes to notice his brilliance.
Another like genetics story is Yao Ming.
You could go on and on about that story.
Yeah. Because I mean, we know there's stories about how like the Chinese government or something,
they forced his parents to get married.
Yeah, they encouraged, like, they had this basketball camp.
They heavily encouraged it.
Yeah, they had this basketball camp where they encouraged like 2 of the tallest people.
Charles Barkley famously said he'd kiss a donkey's butt if Yao scored more than 19 points in a game. The disrespect was real, and it was based on nothing but prejudice and ignorance about what Yao could actually do.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna kick him. He's gonna kick him.
Not exactly what the donkey wanted to hear.
He's gonna kick him.
Yao's rookie season was a masterclass in shutting up the doubters. He didn't just play well, he played with the intelligence and poise of a 10-year veteran. His first matchup against Shaq, Yao held his own and showed that size, skill, and intelligence could compete with anyone. The racist who mocked him suddenly had to deal with getting schooled by superior basketball IQ.
So many big names and big fellas in the building. Ming, the second block on O'Neal.
Shaq's gonna have to go to his jump hook in transition.
Yao on the other end.
The best I've seen on Shaquille since the days of Hakeem Olajuwon. Preparation, knees flex.
Attempt 3.
The Charles Barkley prediction, Yao scored 20-plus points multiple times in his rookie year. The man literally had to kiss a donkey on live television. But that's what happens when you judge players based on stereotypes instead of ability. Just as Yao was establishing himself as a force, the injury problems started. His left foot became a constant issue, requiring multiple surgeries and extended recovery periods.
Who's like the best player you ever played with in your career?
It's between Kobe and Yao Ming.
Damn, Yao Ming?
Yeah, it's between Kobe and Yao because, Yao's career was ended short. He broke his foot.
Yeah.
That's the year we was on the team together.
Yeah.
And I saw what he could do. We actually, we beat the Lakers game 1
yeah,
by 20.
For sure.
And then we was playing, we went to game 7. Yao was out 4 of those games.
Right.
T-Mac hurt his back. T-Mac didn't even play.
T-Mac was nice too, yeah.
He didn't even play. But, Kobe was definitely different. But the reason Yao was so incredible because he was just big and dominant, and he had skill. You couldn't stop him. You ain't doing nothing against Yao.
But physically though.
You ain't got a chance physically against Yao.
Word? Serious?
Did he speak English?
You don't got one chance physically against Yao. Yao's Shaq strong.
The cruel irony was obvious. The basketball gods had given Yao a mind that could revolutionize the center position, but a body that couldn't handle the demands of that revolution. Every time he gained momentum, injuries pulled him back. Unlike other players who could play through minor injuries, Yao's size made every physical issue potentially catastrophic. His body was too unique, too specialized, too fragile for the war of attrition that is an NBA season.
If it wasn't for injuries, Grant Hill would have definitely matched up with the likes of Jordan and LeBron. Here are a couple more potentially great careers ruined by injuries. There's only one player in NBA history who blocked Shaq's shot 3 times in a row, Yao Ming.
When healthy, Yao Ming was unstoppable. His combination of size, skill, and intelligence created mismatches that couldn't be solved. Teams had no answer for a 7'6" player who could shoot, pass, and think like a guard. In his best seasons, Yao was averaging over 25 points and 9 rebounds while shooting over 50% from the field. Those numbers don't capture his impact. He changed how teams played offense and defense just by being on the court. The scary part? He was still improving when injuries derailed everything. Players who faced him regularly said he was getting smarter, more efficient, more dominant with each game. The ceiling was limitless.
Yao was awesome. But what I liked about Yao is a really cool dude in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, played with him 2 years in Houston. And I used to feel sorry for him sometimes because you know how media responsibilities can be sometimes. I've seen Yao have 150 reporters at his locker where they moving me out. I'm trying to get dressed, man.
Beyond basketball, Yao was breaking barriers and changing perceptions. He proved that Asian athletes could dominate in American sports, paving the way for future generations. His intelligence and professionalism changed how people viewed Asian athletes. He wasn't just representing himself or even just China. He was representing an entire continent of people who had been overlooked and underestimated.
Yao Ming.
Oh, yeah.
Yao Ming. 7'5", shooting fadeaways, turnaround jump shot. Yao Ming. Yao Ming was the hardest. Because he was so skilled. I'm really 6'9", 6'10". My shoulders make me 6'11".
The Chinese Kobe comparison became more meaningful over time. Both players transcended basketball to become global icons, showing that excellence has no cultural boundaries. Part of what contributed to Yao's injury problems was the impossible schedule he maintained. NBA seasons, international play, Olympics, World Championships, his body never got proper rest. While other NBA stars could manage their minutes and skip international competitions, Yao felt obligated to represent China whenever called upon. His sense of duty and national pride may have ultimately shortened his career. The basketball IQ that made him great also made him understand his responsibilities to Chinese basketball. He knew he was opening doors for others, but that knowledge came with a physical cost his body couldn't afford. When Yao announced his retirement in 2011 at just 30 years old, it felt like watching genius cut short by cruel fate. His body had betrayed his brilliant mind.
For weeks of rumors, it is finally official. Basketball giant Yao Ming announced this morning that he is retiring. He told reporters in China today the 7'6" center was drafted by the Houston Rockets in 2002, but injuries sidelined his career.
The man who had Kobe's basketball IQ, who could have revolutionized the center position, who could have been the greatest international player ever, forced into retirement by injuries that wouldn't heal. His final seasons were exercises in frustration. You could see the plays he wanted to make, the moves he wanted to execute, but his body wouldn't cooperate. It was genius trapped in failing machinery. Despite the shortened career, Yao's impact is undeniable. He proved that basketball intelligence transcends physical limitations, cultural differences, and racial stereotypes. The players who faced him still speak in reverent tones about his basketball IQ. They talk about how he made everyone around him better, how he saw plays developing before they happened, how he thought the game on a different level. Modern NBA centers study Yao's footwork, his positioning, his decision-making. The Chinese Kobe comparison lives on because his basketball intelligence influenced a generation of big men. Imagine if Yao had stayed healthy. Imagine if those injuries hadn't robbed us of prime years from a generational talent. The NBA might look completely different today. With Kobe's IQ in a 7'6" frame, Yao could have been the most dominant center since Shaq, the smartest big man ever, the bridge between old-school post play and modern versatility. The championships he might have won, the records he might have set, the barriers he might have broken, all lost to the cruel mathematics of injury and recovery. Looking at today's NBA, you can see Yao's influence in players like Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. Centers who think like guards, who see the whole court, who make everyone better with their basketball IQ. The difference is, these players have bodies that can handle the demands of their basketball minds. Yao had the mind of a modern NBA center trapped in a frame too fragile for the revolution he wanted to lead. If Yao played today with modern medical care, load management, and injury prevention, he might have had the career his intelligence deserved. Instead, he was a preview of future basketball trapped in past limitations. The racial mockery Yao faced early in his career looks even more disgusting in hindsight. Even Shaq eventually realized how wrong he was, learning Chinese to apologize and forming a genuine friendship with Yao. But the damage was done. A generational talent had to overcome racism, stereotypes, and doubt while battling a body that was breaking down. No player should have to carry that burden. The fact that Yao handled it all with grace and dignity only adds to his legend. Lesser players would have been broken by the combination of physical pain and social ignorance he faced. Yao Ming had Kobe's basketball IQ in a 7'6" frame. That combination should have produced the most dominant center in NBA history. Instead, injuries robbed us of seeing true genius in action. The Chinese Kobe wasn't just a nickname, it was an accurate assessment of basketball intelligence. Two players who saw the game differently, thought faster, and executed smarter than their peers. While Kobe got to complete his masterpiece over 20 seasons, Yao's canvas was left half-finished. But what he did complete was beautiful enough to change basketball forever. Yao Ming wasn't just robbed by injuries, he was robbed by circumstance. Born too early for modern medical care, too different for immediate acceptance, too fragile for the burden he carried. The man with Kobe's IQ and unprecedented size could have been the greatest center ever. Instead, he's a beautiful what-if story that reminds us how cruel sports can be to generational talents.
There had never been a talent like this from the Far East.
Everyone had heard all the hoopla. The 7'4" guys supposed to be coming bigger than Shaq, and I was like, yeah, right. Everyone had seen the videos of them working out.
The guy who's probably going to be the #1 pick of the draft, Yao Ming, of the People's Republic of China from Shaq.
But here's what they couldn't rob him of: respect. The same people who doubted him now acknowledge his brilliance. The same league that questioned him now studies his impact. The same game that broke his body now celebrates his mind. The Chinese Kobe may have had his career cut short, but his basketball intelligence lives on in every smart center, every international star, every player who proves that genius comes in all shapes, sizes, and cultures. What do you think Yao could have accomplished with a healthy career? Could he have been the greatest center ever? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe for more stories of basketball genius interrupted by cruel fate. Remember, sometimes the most beautiful art is left unfinished.